Ticket on Thursday at UMass. Only automatic bid of the night. John Calipari going for win 100, and Jerome Malloy was helping. Threes from all angles, including this one, and I don't think he called bank on that. He was 5 of 10 for three-pointers, and John Chaney was furious. Turned up the defense, and the offense responds. Aaron McKee, the dunk. Temple by 1 at the break, and John doing the splits. Second half, Tony Barbee jumps to take the three, but makes the nice inside pass to Lewis Rowe. 10 points, 14 boards, and they're swinging in Amherst because UMass has won back-to-back A-10 titles, winning this game by 8. Harper Williams had 20. UMass looking in the neighborhood of a 5 seed in the tournament. Georgetown, their first appearance in the 8-9 game. Anthony Lawrence and Miami were helping him out. The turnover, Jean-Jacques starts it. Nice ball fake, and Joey Brown has the Hoyas up 3 at the break. More Miami problems. Constantine Popa, and more Hoya D. Joey Brown, the quick hands, the block, and the hustle after the ball. On the offensive end, Othello Harrington, 15 points. Miami scored 40. Lowest ever in a Big East tournament game. The Hoyas win by 27. Second straight game that Jean-Jacques has reset his career high. Villanova. Boston College up 3, but Lance Miller for Villanova hits the floater. It's a 1-point game. After a couple of free throws on each side, it was all even at 62. Eagles a chance to win it with time running out. Billy Curley for the win, blocked by James Bryson. And BC going to overtime with Villanova. But in the overtime, BC hit the free throws, but were sloppy with it. Lance Miller, the steal. The finger roll comes up way short. He should have pulled it out, taken a better shot, but that's the way it was for Steve Lappis's team. Down the stretch, Villanova loses and is eliminated, losing to BC 74-70. Eagles scored 12 in OT, all from the line. BC plays 2 seed St. John's, must win if the Eagles want to go to the field of 64. To the Great Midwest, round 1. 6 seed St. Louis against 3 seed Marquette. Erwin Claggett behind the back, then hits the jumper. The backcourt outscoring 16-0. St. Louis to Marquette. Marquette, as you see, scoreless for 8+ minutes. In the second half, Scott Highmark hits the turnaround jumper. Charlie Spoonhour's team up 9. Then Donnie Dobbs, 6'3", gets his man in the air, score it with 1. He had 21 in a big upset. The Billikens, who had only won 1 game in this conference ever, win in the tournament in the first round, knock off Marquette 63-57. St. Louis moves on to round 2. The other quarter, 4 seed UAB against the 3 seed DePaul. DePaul up 7 at the break, and Terry Davis, the outlet to Tom Kleinschmidt, 2 of his 14, even though he did shoot poorly from the field. UAB comes back. Robert Shannon with a 3, likes it on that side of the pyramid, and hits another one in Memphis. 3 seconds left now. DePaul by 2. Missing the free throw on purpose is Clarence Thrash. His team gets the rebound, but denied by good defense on the interior. And Gene Bartow's team eliminated 66-64. Chris Hill leads the Demons with 19. So the 5 seed DePaul will play the 1 seed Cincinnati in Friday's semifinals.
In the Pac-10, early first half, Charles McKinney, the crossover dribble, and off the cushion. Oregon State leading the Bears by 4. Brent Berry slicing through and adding 2. Oregon State up 40-38 at the break, but Todd Bozeman lighting a fire under his team, and Jason Kidd goes from one end of the building to the other to lay it in. 10 points for him in the game, and then midway in the second half, Cal leading by 2. Lamont Murray, the three-pointer, he had 23 in the game, and then Brian Hedrick scored 8 straight during a decisive 11-4 run, and that was enough to give Cal the victory. Jason Kidd also 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals in the game. Scott Haskin 20 points, 10 rebounds for Oregon State. Arizona State battling for a spot as well, facing the Bruins. Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson taking in the game. Mitchell Butler with a block for UCLA. Sean Tarver, one of his 6 assists, back to Butler, who had 10 points. Jim Herrick with some security, his new contract, not that much security, ejected after his second technical in the second half. Bruins leading by 3, time running out. ASU a chance to tie. One Verscher gets a chance, but too late at the buzzer and not close. UCLA just does hang on. Ed O'Bannon 15 points, 10 rebounds. So the Sun Devils now 17-9. They are on the bubble, maybe hoping to be the 4th team from the Pac-10 lately. Does over the defender. He had 28 in the game. George Raveling, his club, a long shot to get to the big dance. Phil Glenn, the 3-point shot. He had 7 3-pointers, but Arizona too tough. Damon Stoudemire with the steal, and Joseph Blair on the other end. And Lute Olson and the Wildcats win at 87-76. The Trojan NCAA tournament hopes are not good, although they hit 14 3-pointers against Arizona. Chris Mills, as we said, scoring 28. At Purdue, the Boilermakers fighting for an at-large bid. They might have...
Tournament. Lon Kruger's team was down 25 seconds left, and Kevin Watkins with the lay-in. The Rebels lead by 3. Florida does have a chance to tie it up. They're going to go for the 3. Gators will get the ball at Craig Brown. He gets a tough off-balance jumper off and it hits the rim, but it comes right back to him. He's smart. He gets back behind the line. Tries another one. Great defense by the Rebels. It's wide. The rebound goes nowhere, and it's all over. Ole Miss pulls off a pretty important upset because the Gators lose by 5 out of the tournament at 16-11, and this could likely lock up a 4th and final SEC bid for LSU. The Tigers will face Ole Miss in Friday's first evening quarterfinal. Another first-round game, Tennessee against Auburn in the second half. Mark Hutton, watch him soar and slam. Putting back the miss. Auburn up by 1. Tennessee hangs right in there. Allen Houston, watch this. What a beautiful play. Great concentration by Houston. His dad's happy that his son scored 25, but Ronnie Battle hits the 3 for Auburn to keep him in it, make it a 1-point game following an Allen Houston free throw. Down 2 for the game. Last try is a heave that is wide left. And Auburn can't pull the upset. Despite 25 from Chuck Person's brother, Wesley, Allen Houston's 25 the story as Tennessee wins by 2. The Vols face the team they knocked off a couple of weeks ago.
State in the WAC tournament for the 4th time in 10 years, and they've yet to lose to the Rams in the postseason event. This from Salt Lake City. Don Haskins, never known to tie one on. Ryan Yoder misses the 3, but Damon Crawford there for the follow. Rams up by 3. Eddie Rivera with the pass to John Portis. The Miners playing tough defense. Ralph Davis on the block, catches the ball, and then takes it down the floor. UTEP goes on an 11-0 run. Second half, Eddie Rivera, the 5'8" guard, takes it inside, gets the foul. Then the final minute, Colorado State down 2. Aaron Atkinson open, but he cannot hold on. UTEP adds free throws and does hang on to win. Keith Bonds, by the way, of the Rams, had a rough night shooting, going 5 for 15. Rivera finishing with 21 as UTEP wins. The WACO champions move into Friday night semis against Texas El Paso. Utah whipping the Aztecs twice during the year, and they do it again. Xavier in white, Brian Grant, 13 points in the first half, and then Jamie Gladden with a steal and goes from one end to the other. Xavier leading by as many as 14 in the first half. Second half, Loyola keeping it close. Jason Joseph starts it with defense. Burnell Brent on the other end to lay it in. And the Ramblers within 4. It was tough to tell who was the #1 seed in this tournament. Stephen Gentry, nice pass to Aaron Williams, who had 12, and Pete Gillen going to take a 10-point victory. Brian Grant, the nation's leader in field goal percentage, hit 8 of 9 shots from the floor. The Musketeers, the top seed in their tournament. Derek Alston scoring 30 to lead Duquesne into Friday.
North Carolina and Maryland today in the ACC quarterfinal in Charlotte. Dean Smith looking for a victory that would tie him with the late Henry Iba as the 3rd winningest coach. Johnny Rhodes with a miss here. And Brian Reese, who along with Eric Montrose did not start today because they were 80 seconds late for a team meal, goes in. Tar Heels leading it easily by 22 in the second half. Montrose, Reese, and Lynch, who combined for 49. Watching Ed Getz for the slam as the Heels win easily, 102-66, and Dean gets that victory. Also, Virginia and Wake. Cornell Parker out and running, going coast to coast to give UVA a 3-point lead. The Deacons' Trelawney Owens had a nice day. Ray Childress with the feed. We're tied at 57. And then Jeff Jones turns to Corey Alexander, who had 20 points. These the sweetest. Final seconds, Virginia leading it by a deuce. And the victory. So today, in the ACC's opening round, it was Virginia by 4 over Wake. Carolina easily over Maryland. Those two teams play tomorrow in the semifinals. We'll have it live at 1:30 Eastern. Charlie?
But that was yesterday. Today, David Hobbs in Alabama would have a tough time. Vandy with some nifty passing. Bruce Elder to Chris Lawson. And the pump and the shovel to Billy McCaffrey. And McCaffrey with a home run pass to Bruce Elder for the easy slam. And Bama's bubble has burst. Vandy wins easily to the SEC, Georgia and Arkansas. Georgia's Sean Golden swipes it and slams it. Georgia by 10. Arkansas played defense as well. Clifton McDaniel with the steal. Roger Crawford would finish at the other end. 31-23 Arkansas at the half. Second half, here come the Dogs. Golden with the nice move and the hoop, and that would tie it at 49. The Razorbacks simply too much. Scotty Thurman with 3 of his 18. Arkansas wins by 5. Arkansas will play the winner of Kentucky-Tennessee's game tonight, and that'll be tomorrow afternoon.
Keep winning. The Hoyas won last night and this afternoon against Terry and the Pirates. Terry DeHare took a while for him to get going this afternoon, and it was a physical day for Terry DeHare and the Seton Hall Pirates. A little frustration because, well, there he is on the breakaway, and Joey Brown of the Hoyas sends him into a photographer. It was that kind of a day for PJ's leading scorer, and this is not a replay. This is a Lamont Morgan reprise, and 2 intentional fouls called, but DeHare down the stretch got the shots. Jerry Walker had the solid game as the Hall advances. It was tight for a while as the Hoyas hung around. 83-69 the final score. Earlier in the afternoon, it was Providence convincingly over UConn. These 2 teams play tomorrow.
But a surprise in the first half, a surprisingly close game. The Buffalo's Donnie Boyce drives inside, dishes for Poncho Hodges. Roy Williams, Jayhawks are actually down by 9 at the half. In the second half, the Jayhawks turn it up. Adonis Jordan with the steal and the deuce. The Jayhawks went on an 18-2 run. Walters to Hancock, back to Rex Walters. Game, set, and match. And it was an easy day in the second half, 82-65 for the Jayhawks. K-State and Nebraska, a buzzer beater down to the wire. Anthony Bean with the long 3. Vincent Jackson with the unanswered prayer, but there's Askia Jones who knocks it home at the buzzer, and K-State beats Nebraska by 2. The Hokies came into the game having lost 7 straight. There were 8 games under 500. Tulane on the break. Laveldro Simmons with the pass to Matt Green. The spin in the hoop. Green wave up by 8. Virginia Tech would come back, though. Sean Good, the steal. Jay Purcell. And Purcell would finish it off. Perry Carter had a worried look, and for good reason. Tulane up by 6 at the half. In the second half, though, the Hokies come alive, and Perry Clark can't believe his guys were upset. And VCU beats South Florida 79-72. Virginia Commonwealth and Virginia Tech in the Saturday semifinals, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Bob?
Longhorns, Tony Watson with a steal, and the foul. Texas by 17 at halftime. Rice coach Willis Wilson, only 6 field goals for his team, but they had 20 free throws in the first half, and then Rice with a surge in the second half. Adam Peaks to Brent Scott, the Owls within 3, but Terrence Rencher as the shot clock expires as Texas holds on for the upset, 81-76. So a result certainly that Rice did